Welcome everyone to an unplanned, unrehearsed, is that a word? I don't know. Live stream from Marianna, Florida. Nobody's watching yet, but we're here at Cave Adventures. And I wanted to show you kind of what all the stuff that goes through before we can just go out on a dive. Which is pretty interesting. But before we do that, I actually want to give you like a walkthrough here because I don't think I've ever seen a video of this gym or like this place, which I love, by the way. Every time I come here, it's pretty awesome. So let me give you kind of like a walkthrough here of this place. So once again, we're at Cave Adventures in Marianna, Florida. We featured them here before because it's Ed Sorensen's shop. And I'm back here, cave diving for a few days. Obviously, Kiss Rebreather shop, and because of that, everything you see around is Kiss Rebreather parts and tools and stuff, and it's all interesting to me. So I love this stuff. Every time I come here, it's just like, I mean, look at this. So all different kinds of manually add valves. Use a dual MAV, top loading, dual MAV, bottom loading. Here you have a different kind of MAV. This guy, I don't know if the camera is right. You know, different rebreather heads. This one doesn't have a card. This one doesn't have anything inside whatsoever. Scrubbers, just all kinds of stuff. And all the tools and stuff to do maintenance on the rebreathers and little parts around. You know, I keep these too, Medi. These red things, I don't know why I keep them. Why? So if Ed keeps them, I don't feel that bad, but this is pretty useless.
We've been using for a few different stuff, protecting, giving them to, good morning everyone, by the way, to put at the end of your P valve, to protect it, you know, we find a different sort of use, so yeah, we keep them all.
Yeah, so these things, by the way, are protective caps that come in at the end of hoses. They put them on a hose at the end to protect like the threads. Yep, like so you can see right there. So every time I buy a hose, which I have like 100 of them, I don't know how many, I take it and I keep it. I have like, I mean, not as many of this because I've thrown away some, but I have a bunch and I don't know why.
We have boxes in the shop.
You have boxes, exactly. It's like, I don't even know why I do that. So there's extra loops there. There's a bunch of other stuff. Just giving everyone kind of like a walkthrough. Sulfna lime or scrub. Basically, this is the chemical that removes the CO2 that we breathe. So when we breathe out, the air goes through this chemical and it strips out the CO2 and allows us to breathe our breath again. That's what a rebreather is. We keep breathing our same breath over and over and over again. So that's the sulfna lime is down there. Look at all those reels down there and parts and stuff. Pretty awesome. This reel is pretty cool. This has to be like an 800-foot reel.
So that's an 800-foot that me and Ed have been working on a few days ago.
Yeah, that's
it was
awesome.
empty, so we sat down and marked it every 10 feet.
Wow.
So we sat down and make a note and make a mark.
That's what all these black marks are?
And you can see there is a knot that goes with every mark.
Oh my God.
So this is used for surveying cave. So you got an idea of the distance. Every knot, you got a knot every 10 feet. So, you know, if you come across 70 knots, well, you've done 700 feet.
Jesus. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so all of these are different Omni swivel parts. I don't know if you can see them in there. Let me open this up maybe. So these are all different connectors and stuff that we use on rebreathers. And that's one thing I love it here. You know, if you need something for the rebreather, they normally have it, whatever it is. Omni swivel is always. What's up, Patrick?
All right.
We're live streaming on YouTube.
What up?
We have 73 people right now watching.
We got 4
some
pounds.
lead
We
in
can nice and thin. And we can make that fit somewhere.
Thank you.
Perfect.
All right.
The other setup was just shy of 4, so that's a little lower.
What can we do a rebreather system for a house to lower CO2 levels? Well, a rebreather just enough to lower CO2 levels from one person is like thousands and thousands of dollars. So I assume if you breathe one for your house, it will cost more than the house. So might as well just buy another house and move. if the CO2 levels are too high. So Mehdi right here is building his unit. This is a KISS Sidewinder. So this is pretty interesting. He's going through the process. This right here is the counter lung. So when he breathes out, this thing fills up with his breath, and then he breathes in, and it goes into his lungs. So the air goes from his lungs to the counter lungs, back to his lungs, to the counter lungs, and so far and so forward. So he just does that over and over and over and over again. That's how that works. This is my unit, which looks like a disaster, but I promise you it makes sense. It works. Let's close this door. Sorry, can't see what's in there. That's because there is a prototype of a rebreather in there, and you can't see it. So, pretty excited about that prototype. All right, so Patrick is working on my Spirit right there, trying to do some modifications. Yes. Oh yeah. See, so Mehdi follows a checklist. Mehdi, how many dives do you have?
I've got somewhere around 3,500.
3,500 dives, and you still follow a checklist every time?
Yeah, every time I build my rebreather, go through the step just to make sure I'm not forgetting an important step. That will be pretty bad day if I were to. So every time, every rebreather, every unit, every dive, every day, I make sure I follow my checklist when I build my rebreather.
Exactly, and that's one important thing I think that we always tell people is like the most experienced divers, Ed follows a checklist. Everyone that we know that is an experienced diver follows it, because we know that especially for new guys, when they go through training, once they do it like 10 times, it's sort of like, oh, it's all in my head. I can just do it and not follow the checklist. But I mean, these guys and us, everyone follows a checklist, so make sure you do that as well. And again, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I see things popping up, but I don't see all the chats. So if I'm missing any questions, sorry about that. So once again, showing, look at these DPVs, Seacraft DPVs. Mine is already in the car, ready to go for diving. Look at this thing, it's awesome. This is a Ghost DPV, is for exploration mainly. So the one I have, it's this one, is the DPV that's, basically for, for cave diving, I would say. I think the battery, I don't remember how long it lasts on it, but it's a few hours. It's like, what is it, like 8 hours or 12 hours, something like that? It's a lot.
But it's double what yours should be.
Yeah, this one is the double. It's double the battery, but it's not faster. It's just a lot more battery. And then, the gym. So this is Ed's gym. He works out here like every day, like 5 in the morning, getting after it. It's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, I gotta show this. So, because people don't get to see these often, so these are all the awards from Ed. You can see Instructor Trainer of the Year, Life Saving Award from the National Speleological Society Cave Diving Section. This is from Sheriff of Jackson County, Florida. I don't know if you can see that. It's a Lifetime Achievement Award down here. There's a really cool KISS rebreathers wood thing. I'd love to have that at the Dive Talk studio. That would be pretty awesome. And you can see some of the others on the wall. It gets after it for sure. All right. Let's see if I can read some of these comments. I don't know how to do that unless they come up. Hey, Jack, what's up? What's your spare air? Great, thanks. I was in a good mood today, Jack. You ruined that. Yeah, it's an unexpected surprise. Thank you. Let me show you out here as well. Not for long because I will melt. It's like 100 degrees. But I want you to meet somebody else that's out here. All right, so here's the car. It's my car. It's pretty much loaded to go. The 2 tanks, Dylan bailout tanks, and my DPV. Oop, right here. It's kind of mirrored, so it's hard to do it with a phone. But that's my DPV right there. Check this out. Paul, how you doing, sir?
How are you?
Paul, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, absolute cave diving legend, Paul Heiner.
Hi, everyone.
There he is.
How's that?
I promised them I was gonna have you on the show.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, as soon as I saw you pull up, I'm like, I gotta go and talk to Paul.
You're doing a show right now?
Yeah,
Oh.
we're live right now. People
Okay.
can ask you questions. They didn't know that you were gonna be on the show. I just figure, let's
Cool.
put you on. So 120 people watching you right now.
Wow.
Pretty awesome.
Well, it's hot here, in case y'all don't know.
Oh my God, it's crazy. So yeah, if you have any questions for Paul, let me know. I'll go and interrupt him again. And here's the Cave Adventurers shop. Charlie, what's up? Here's the fuel station. Pretty loud in here, but full-on dive shop. These guys are open like 365 days a year, and they open at like 8 in the morning every day. It's unbelievable. You can cave dive here. There's like 5 caves are like within 5 minutes from Cave Adventures, and they open every day. They're always ready to go. And cave diving, that's mainly what they do. I know they can teach like open water and stuff. Like you can take it here, like Mehdi we were talking about earlier. He's an instructor. But cave diving is mainly what they do. Oh my God, it's so hot. All right, so let's see if I can answer some questions. So if you ask any question and I did not answer them, go ahead and ask again. I'll pay attention. Let me sit right here. Pretend I'm gonna work out. I'm not. This is just right in front of the AC. So that's why I'm sitting here. All right, here we go. How's the visibility right now inside the caves? You can't even see the water. It's perfect visibility. What agency does Ed train under? All of them. But mainly under PSAI, I believe, and TDI maybe, but PSAI is the main one. How are you doing? Great. Where's Woody? Woody's actually leading a trip this weekend to Key Largo, and that's it's a good question because we do get emails once in a while about what's the best way for me to dive with you guys, and the best way to dive with us is actually to go in one of our trips. Now it's not our trips because we don't own the shop or we don't make any money actually on those trips, but as instructors we sometimes go on shop trips, and if you happen to sign up for a trip that me or Woody are going, then you get to dive with us. So it's kind of like a lottery. We get assigned to trips once in a while. I think I go about twice a year, something like that. Woody goes more than me. He has more time. I don't go as much, but that's the easiest way to dive with us. Plus, all those trips are open circuit. So if you're an open circuit diver, you don't have to be a rebreather diver and all of that. Of course, if you're a rebreather cave diver, that's a lot more opportunities to dive with us because that's what we like doing the most. Can you camp inside a cave bubble? No, I think you'll just die. I mean, you can always do anything once, as we have already established in here. Somebody asked, when is the collaboration with Mr. Ballin coming? It's coming. We're planning it. We are working through the logistics. I've thrown some ideas. We've been talking to John. He's a great guy. Talked to some ideas, but apparently even some of my ideas are too crazy for John. He is, I don't know if he has disclosed information, but he's in the process of moving. He's moving from one house to another, so the whole moving thing is happening, and we haven't had the chance to coordinate calendars. And at this point, I think he's gonna finish moving and get settled and get the studio set up, and then we'll probably record the video that we have in mind. Let's see, the other questions just flashed so fast. So Jessica said she's ready to visit Ed and Stacy again soon. Yes, come over. Will you guys ever do Fangorn Forest? So Woody has already been there, and I want to go there. I have to reach out to Brian Kaycock to go. One of the reasons why I got my Sidewinder training and certification is so I can go to Fangorn Forest. So it's gonna happen. When am I gonna go diving for gold? Never. Non-CCR diver here. Oh, that question went away too fast. Sorry. How many buddies have you had to leave in caves or cave dives? I didn't learn that Donald Cerrone rule, so I've never left anyone behind. Maybe if I had his instructor, it would be different. Do any caves have fish in them? Most caves have fish in them, but it's not a lot of fish. Sea caves have more fish than regular freshwater caves. Where in Key Largo is Woody this weekend? I'm here. He will be diving with Rainbow Reef. And so he's going to be diving Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with Rainbow Reef. Are most ocean cave dives located along the coast? Yes. I missed the other question. My friend has a habit extended from his nose. Important to get rid of this habit. The easiest way to get rid of that habit is to go down with a scuba tank and take your mask off. And then I promise you'll get rid of it. Do you get paid? For what? I don't know. I don't know. How many Mike Youngs does it take to fix a P-valve on a dry suit? I don't know. When is the next Ed story coming? I get that question all the time. The real answer is I don't know. There's a couple of reasons for that. Mainly, one of the reasons is, I'll be honest with you guys, we lost power in the middle of it. You'll see it on the video. There was a storm. We lost power at some point in the video, and I'm gonna leave it in there so you can see, for like 5 seconds. So for 5 seconds, just us in the dark, like, uh-oh. And then the power came back on, and then right towards the end of the story, I would say maybe had like 15 minutes left or something like that. The power went off and it never came on. So, you know, it was completely dark. There was no way to shoot the ending. So I'm here this week to hopefully get the ending. And if I do get the ending of the story, then I will release it at some point. At this point, I'm 99% sure that we will not release it until we hit 50,000 subscribers. So if you can help us with some awareness and getting us out there, then probably we will celebrate 50,000 with the Ed story from Dominican Republic, which is insane. Let's see, what else? They're going on a body recovery, not me. Can we see what lights you plan on bringing today? I know they are orcas, but wouldn't mind seeing them. I don't want to go outside again, but I'll bring my D630. It's my primary light. My D710 is mounted on my left. It's my backup light, and then I have two D520s on my right pocket. So those are my 4 lights that I bring cave diving. Again, I think I saw 3 questions flash below, but it just went away super fast. So go ahead and ask again. Sorry. Pay for body recoveries? No. Well, I've never done it, so I've never been paid for it, and Ed doesn't get paid either. Cave warnings, decals. Let's see, how many words does it take? What type of mask for a full beard? Okay, so I do get that question a lot. Is like, how don't you get leaky masks when you're diving? I happen to find a mask that doesn't leak with a beard. I have no idea how it works, but the mask that I found is called the Black Line mask from Poseidon. And the reason I found it is because they made that mask for rebreather diving. It's a low volume mask, which means it's the glass is closer to your eyes than the regular scuba masks are bigger. And I bought it just to try it. And then the byproduct of it is that I can dive with a beard, which is awesome. So I immediately bought another one. So even my backup mask is a Poseidon Black Line mask. But that is based on the shape of your face. So Woody, as soon as he saw that, he bought it, and his mask flooded immediately, and he had to return it. So his face, believe it or not, it's not the same shape as mine. So it didn't work for him. Hey, what's up, R? All right. Who else is on? Yeah, please like this video if you haven't done that already. Let's go ahead and smash that like button. What's your opinion on mounting a backup light on shoulder straps while on side mount? I don't know. I think whatever works for you. I don't tell people how to set up their kit. I like to tell people how I set up mine and why. And you know, if they take some feedback from that and use some of it, that's cool. But I don't like to tell people, you know, this is the way to do it. This is the only way. No, that's not. I don't like that. When are you going for gold? Never. Let's do that. Never. Do you only go cave diving? No. I like diving in the ocean. I've established many times that killing lionfish in the ocean is #1 for me. It's my favorite. What is an acceptable number of dive knives? I dive with 2, not knives. I have cutting devices, which are different. I don't need a knife. You can travel with cutting devices a lot easier. They're called Easy Cut, by the way. Not sponsored by them or anything. They're just great. Is the prototype something you're going to use? Man, I would love to, but probably not. No, they're not gonna let me dive with that thing. It's just Ed. How do divers communicate with each other underwater? We use hand signal, light signals, and we even talk, because with a rebreather you can kind of talk. When are we doing a Tesla giveaway? When we hit probably 10 million subscribers. We'll give away Teslas. Doesn't the DPV syrup silt? Yes, if you do it wrong. It happens a lot when you do it wrong. But when Ed does it, it doesn't. Stirrup silt. Lee keeps asking about cave silt in your beard. I don't worry about it. Pacific dives plan. I don't have anything planned. What are your plans for this channel if it gets huge? I don't know. Just keep recording videos and hopefully more people see it, and hopefully we make more money so we can make bigger and better videos. By the way, if the channel keeps getting bigger, we want to do a trip to Europe and do cave diving in Europe. One of the guys that we want to be on the video is that guy over there, Mehdi, who's from France, cave diver from France, keeps telling us that the caves in France are awesome. So we'll see. Where's your wood cutting level? I don't know. Noob, I guess. Let's see. Do you have any plans to come to Croatia? No, I hear people stab themselves in Croatia when they're running out of air, which is weird. I don't know why they do that. I love Croatia though. I've been to Dubrovnik and it's awesome. We'd love to see you guys in Germany. It's awesome. Gus and Woody, UK trip at any point. Yeah, I mean, as part of that plan to Europe, we want to stop by a few countries. Again, I don't want to disclose the information because the plan can change, but if there are caves where you live, if you live in Europe, we are probably thinking about going there. Have you ever had an encounter with a dangerous animal? No. I've had an encounter with many animals, but none of them are dangerous. Ever heard of underwater mine in Germany? There's underwater mines everywhere, and we want to go dive in underwater mines, yes. Is Norway one of them? I do want to go to Norway and dive with orcas, but we haven't thought about going to Norway yet. It's not part of the plan because I don't think there's caves in Norway. Plus it will be freezing. But yeah, if I was gonna go, I would go diving with orcas. Do I have kids? Yes, I have 3 and none of them dive yet. The youngest one, whose age is gonna be 9 later this year, he wants to be a diver, but he's too young yet. Have you dove in Australia? No, I've been to Australia, but I've never been diving there. Would you suggest going twin side mount before going rebreather? No, I never did side mount before I went rebreathers. So I don't think you need to do that. If you do it, fine, that's great experience, but you don't have to. And then all the other questions went away. Sorry, guys. Mikey keep asking how am I staying sexy underwater? Yeah. I'm acknowledging you, so you don't keep posting it. How deep are you willing to dive? As deep as I'm trained, which is 330 feet or 100 meters. You've seen Leroy's video about your recent video? No. Ever dive in South Africa? No. I would love to, especially if it's with great whites. Would love to dive with great whites out without a cage. When are you interviewing a Navy SEAL? Working on that with John Ballin, or John B. Allen actually is his name. Calling it Ballin, that's not right. Does your beard get caught in a current? Sure, I don't know. How deep can a recreational diver go before it gets dangerous? Again, it's all depending on your training and what you're comfortable to dive to and where you're diving. You know, if you're diving at altitude versus on the sea, current or not. I mean, it all depends. But typically when you just get certified, you're okay to dive down to about 60 feet or 20 meters. What's the deepest you've gone? 248 feet, which is about 75 meters. When does the Ed Sorensen interview come out? We already talked about that. You can go back and watch that. What sharks have you dived with? I don't know. Dozens of different ones. What's the most beautiful underwater diving site you've ever been to? I mean, that's hard to answer. I mean, I think the Maldives was awesome, but you know, in terms of caves, I think Eagle's Nest was probably up there, the most beautiful one. Would you ever do saturation diving? No. Would you be willing to dive into Jacob's Well? Yes. Do beards grow faster at depth? Lee is obsessed with beards. That's what I know. And I don't know if it grows faster at depth. I wish. What do you do for work? I own an IT company. We do computer stuff. Ever dive in the state of Kentucky? I've never been to Kentucky. What grading do you prefer? 40/70. And that's because that's what Simon Mitchell uses. He is the world's greatest decompression expert, so compression medicine expert. We recommend wreck diving for anyone that is interested. Wreck as ships or recreational? I don't know which one you meant. Somebody's asking me to go to France. I want to go to France. Maddie, we have already established that. It's asking me, saying we should go to France.
We are going.
Yes. Maddie says we're going. There you go. Have you dived in Mexico? Many times. It's awesome. Did COVID affect you guys much over there? I actually had COVID pretty bad. Ended at the hospital twice, hooked up to oxygen. It was really bad. And I think 20 days after I got my first negative test, I was diving again, which was pretty quick, but it was awesome. Do you know that there's one of the deepest pools in the world in Dubai? I'm not going to say we're going there, but we've talked about it. Somebody says we have a place in Paris to stay. That's cool. That's awesome. Can you go to university and manage getting certified at the same time? It depends on the certification, but I would say so. I mean, like certifications don't take months, so you should be able to make it happen, yes. Or some of your hobbies other than diving and making YouTube videos? I have no life other than diving and making YouTube videos and working, so nothing. That's all I do. The next Olympics are in France, that's right. Some schools have clubs and you can get certified. Yes. How fast can you go? That went away. I think the question was like, how fast can you go from 0 to cave diver or something like that? If that's what it was, post it again, please. Diving Genie, come out. I can't. I have to go back home on Friday, tomorrow. So I wish. I would love to. I love Genie. Come to Tennessee or North Carolina and cave dive. You know, I heard that there's some cool caves in Tennessee. So that could happen, but not the one where Ed rescued Josh. Let's not do that one. Do you think it's okay to dive if you have a cold? We get a lot of questions about medical stuff, like I have this, or I have that disease, or I have this problem. Can I dive? You know, neither Woody or I are doctors. Like, we have no idea. It really comes down to if your doctor says you can dive, then you can dive. That will be my standard answer because I have no idea. Like, I literally have no clue if you can dive. So I don't want to say no and tell you can dive and then you can't. Like, I don't want to answer those questions. How fast can you go from brand new open water to full cave? Depending on how much do you dive and how quickly you learn. And, you know, some people will never be cave divers because they don't like to be on a confined, on an overhead environment. They just don't get over it. So it doesn't matter how much time or how much money you have, they just cannot do it. They cannot bring themselves to do it. I remember when I bought my dry suit, I was just a regular diver, and the guy who sold it to me said, this dry suit will be great for cave diving. And I looked at him and I'm like, you're nuts. I'm never gonna be a cave diver. And here I am. So some people are just never gonna be cave divers, and some people, can do it. They can train themselves for it. So, are you wanting to ever go deeper on a dive? Sure, if it was safer, I would love to do that. But at some point, it gets so dark that there's no point. Getting certified at Lake Jocassee. I've dived there several times. Congratulations, that's awesome. I've never heard of Lloyd Bailey. I have no idea what that is. Do you like steak tacos? Sure, they're awesome. Do you ever went snorkeling off the shore of Key West? Because I have. No, I've never done that, but that's cool. So a documentary of a guy doing a 900-foot crazy dive. We're actually interviewing a guy next week that went deeper than that. So stay tuned. It's coming out Monday. It'd be cool if you discover a new species. Sure, but I never know anything. I'm the worst when it comes to species. Like, I never know what kind of fish it is. Like they'll be like, what was that? Like whatever fish or what? I don't know. It was a blue fish. I have no idea. I never know anything. People are always, it's funny because people on YouTube are always like, oh man, what don't you know? Like, you know about everything. No, I have no idea about most things, actually. I know about cave diving, some of it, and about diving, some of it, and that's it. What happens if you have to go to the bathroom inside an underwater cave? I mean, if you have to pee, you just pee for the most part. And the other one, I've never felt that. And I guess if you have to go really bad, you just go and then deal with it, I guess. I don't know. Can I get certified in doubles? Is it mandatory to go side mounts? You can get certified in doubles. It's just your options will be limited in terms of caves that you can go to. But there's a ton of caves that you don't need to be on a side mount. Oh, look at Jonathan Bird. Just joined the chat. What's up, Jonathan? Good to see you. By the way, really excited. He just announced that Ancient Caves is coming to Boston in October. So if you're in the Boston area, New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, I don't know what else is there, Canada, go to Boston and watch Ancient Caves. Totally worth it. It's awesome. Just do a vacation. Go check it out. Check out the other stuff in Boston, like, I don't know. What else is in Boston? Nothing, right? Okay, well, go watch Ancient Caves. And, I don't know, MIT, I guess. What scuba tanks are the funnest to take? Scuba ranks. I mean, I think for most scuba divers, the rescue class is awesome. So, take the rescue class. Oh, Joe Oceanside just joined the chat. Joe, great job on the last video, man. That was awesome. That was great. Good job keeping it real. Really close to the, those caves that you frequent, by the way. Somebody invited me to dive a gator hole, but I don't think I'll have a chance to do that this time around. I'm here in Marianna. What is the most dangerous cave you've ever been to? Probably a cave in Mexico was the most dangerous cave I've been to, and for a variety of reasons. Too long to go over here. Don't know what caves are around here, but a place welcome anytime for you. And Woody, thank you so much. Yeah, Marianna is beautiful. Do you have any other hobbies outside of diving? No, not really. That's all I do. Can I get certified with you? Open water and the open water specialties. Yeah, I'm an instructor for that, but I'm not a cavern or cave diving trainer or instructor. I'm just a diver. What is the longest you've spent in a cave? About 2 hours, I would say. I don't remember the longest dive I've done inside a cave. I am aware of the deepest dive, yeah, a little bit over 1,000 feet. Once again, watch on Monday. I have a guy, we interviewed a guy that went deeper than that. All right. What's the worst diving horror story you've ever heard? Oh man, I can't. I cannot disclose the stuff that I've heard in here. Some of them from Ed. I'd rather share them with you guys in the future. What's the longest cave dive, even including deco? For me or like for the world record? For me, I think the deepest I've been is about 3,000 feet inside a cave. But I plan to do that and go even deeper when I go to Fangorn Forest, which is way further than that, I believe. But I've done longer dives inside a cave. Like for example, I've done the long traverse at Peacock Springs from Peacock 1 to Orange Grove and back. So I did the double grand traverse at Peacock. That was like, I think we counted and it was like 10,000 feet or something. But you're never more than, I want to say 900 feet from an exit. So you're never deeper than that from an exit. There's a lot of points that you can exit along the way. You're going to Cave Adventures on Mill Pond? Yep, I'm here right now. Check that out. Cave Adventures. That's where I am. Will you ever consider diving with followers? Yes, as a matter of fact, we are planning on organizing a trip for our subscribers to South Florida. So if you're a diver, I will be announcing that in 2022. We want to get together, maybe about 20 of us. It's not going to be a big event. We're not doing this to make money or anything. It's just because we've gotten a lot of questions and comments about we want to go diving with you guys, and we want to make it so people can go dive with us. So it will be like me and Woody and Mike Young, and maybe Jonathan Bird wants to join us. And we just want to go diving with you guys. Just, it might not even have to be rebreathers, maybe just open circuit. But we'll go to Woody's hotel, Ocean Treasure. We'll like rent the whole hotel and just be us. And it will be like either diving or having fun. We might just record some videos live. Like we just, spend like a weekend or something. And we've had people like reaching out, like saying they'll come from Netherlands just to do that, which is pretty awesome. So we'll probably open that up. We'll probably open it up first to members and then open it up to everyone else. So that will be awesome. What's the level of training required to go on the trip? Probably like advanced open water or something. We don't want to make it so it's like a super expert trip or something like that. We just want to open it up and have you guys come and join us to dive and just have a good time for a weekend. Do you like cold water diving? Not really. I mean, I don't mind it, but I don't like seek it. I would love to dive in Antarctica because one of the things on my bucket list is to dive in every continent. But I don't particularly enjoy like let me go dive in cold water now. Yep, somebody says Beth is saying she'll come from Canada. Awesome. You recommend doing tech training on open circuit first or go directly to CCR? I don't personally think you should do it. I didn't do tech training on open circuit. I went from recreational open circuit to rebreathers and I was fine. We interviewed Georgia Hauserman on the show, who is the training director for PADI. For technical stuff. She's an instructor in like 10 different rebreathers or something like that. And I asked her that question. And she said, I actually think that doing tech training in open circuit and then going to rebreather is bad for you. I think that you should don't like skip all open circuit tech training and go to rebreathers. So what nationality are you? I'm actually from Venezuela, from South America, originally. What is the minimum amount of oxygen you recommend to end your dive with? What do you mean? Like amount of air on your tank? So if that's the question, not sure. Wim Hof ice dive story collaboration. That guy is badass. It's crazy. So Gustavo is Venezuelan. Yep. I am from Maracaibo. Woody owns a hotel. He actually owns 3 hotels, I think. 2 Marriotts and that Ocean Treasure. And I think they're opening another one. Let's see. Yep, Max is heading out. See you, Max. Good job on the Discord channel, by the way. We have a Discord channel. If you are on Discord, go ahead and join that. I'm there answering questions and stuff. It's pretty cool. Is there any body weight or height limit when it comes to diving certain caves? I guess so. I mean, there are some caves that only Mike Young can fit, so yes. But not for cave diving. I mean, some of these caves you can fit a Boeing 747. I mean, they're humongous, so. Are you into wreck diving? Yes, I love wreck diving. One of my favorite wrecks has been the Oriskany, and we want to go back to the Oriskany with DPVs and do the whole thing. Go through the inside, go to the bottom, check everything out, kill some lionfish. It will be fun. Last time I was at the Oriskany, the deepest I went was the fly deck, which is around 150 feet. That's as deep as I went, but I want to go back with full trimix and go to the bottom. How do you get into cave diving? It was really, that's a good question. I got the rebreather and I wanted to just dive deeper. And I did my training at Blue Grotto and I was really enjoying the cavern at Blue Grotto. And, I do diving not because I think it's cool and beautiful and all this stuff. I mean, it is cool and beautiful, but that's not the reason why I mainly do it. I just really love the equipment, the gear, and all of that. I'll answer your question, Braden, in a second. I really love the gear and all that other stuff. And I learned that you can learn most of the skills for cave diving if you do cavern diving. And I was under the impression, like most people that watch our channel, that in order to cave dive, you have to go into these super tight restrictions, like, you know, it's all just this gnarly stuff. And that's not at all what happens. You know, it all depends on the cave. So I said, okay, well, I won't do cave diving because that's too crazy, but I'll do cavern diving. And then I did my cavern training, and I loved the procedures and the lost line drills and the out of air stuff and the bump and goes and you know, all that stuff. It was just awesome. And, you know, during my cavern training, I learned that you don't have to go through all those super tight caves. My instructor, as a matter of fact, was like, that's where I draw the line. Like, if I have to take off my gear to fit through a restriction, I'm not going. So I was like, I love that. Let's do it. So I decided to become a cave diver, and I just fell in love with that. Then Braden asked, why would you go intro to cave and not do full cave? Well, the way I did my training was different to Woody. So Woody did the 0 to hero training, which is you start from not even cavern diver and you go from 0 to full cave in 8 days or 10 days or something like that. That's what he did with Brian Kaycock out in the Bahamas. I didn't do that. I did cavern training. I was a cavern diver for a while, diving in caverns, practicing lines. Like, I would go to quarries with my line, and people would look at me like, what the hell is this guy doing? I would go and I'd run a primary. I would do tie-offs. I would put in cookies and lines and arrows, and I would do all that stuff, just practice a bunch. And then I got my intro to cave certification. I was an intro to cave diver for a while, and then I went to full cave. I like that approach. It was broken up. It cost the same to do it 0 to full or to break it up. Like, the training costs, what you pay for the classes, are the same versus doing it all at once. Like, if you just want to be a cave diver right now, then 0 to cave makes sense. But I didn't have to be a cave diver immediately. I could take my time, and I'd rather do it that way, so that's how I did it. Let's see. Yeah, Woody, I said earlier, he's actually traveling to Key Largo with students this weekend, so I'm here cave diving by myself. He is absolutely loving that, I'm sure. Have you ever dived, I guess, at the infamous Eagle's Nest? Yes, I have. Been there. It's pretty awesome. Eagle's Nest is amazing. Can't wait to go back. If I get a rebreather, should I keep my open circuit stuff? Sure, yeah. Oh, I missed those 2 questions, Joe and Mr. V as well. If you can ask again, sorry. They just go so fast. I wish they would keep it for like 5 seconds so I can read them. But they flash 4 questions in 2 seconds. I cannot read them all. Have you ever found bones when cave diving? Not human bones, I don't think, but I found a lot of animal bones. Cave diving by yourself? Never. No, I always go with a buddy, and I have Medi, who's not here right now, diving with me this week. What's your opinion on GUE? They do awesome. Why did I go into rebreathers, Mr. V? Because of the benefits of a rebreather. Mainly, I wanted to extend my bottom time and be able to do, 3-hour long dives without having to carry a bunch of bottles with me. I know you can do it in open circuit too, but I've done 3-hour long drift dives in Cozumel where we hit every single dive site in Palancar, which is like 9 dive sites that would take open circuit people a week to do, and we hit it in one dive, just 3 hours long, drifting from one site to the next, to the next, to the next. Rebreathers are just awesome. And when you do deep dives like trimix dives and all of that, the gas that you take with you is actually only used if your rebreather stops working, if you have to bail out. So when you go on deep trimix dives, like 300 feet or something like that, then you bring the gas with you, but you normally don't use it unless you have a problem. So you don't pay the gas over and over and over. We've been on dive operators where the open circuit guys are paying $300 or $400 every time they go out on a deep dive. And I filled my tanks once and I've done 10 dives with them and I'm still using them. You don't use the tanks, they're bailout tanks. So you only use them if you bail out, and you only bail out if your rebreather has a problem, and I haven't had an issue. So that's why you do it. Hopefully you get into rebreathers. So Joe Oceanside asked me about a full face mask. I personally don't see the point on having a full face mask. That's just my opinion. Unless you are a commercial diver that needs to communicate with surface support, or you're a public safety diver looking for like a drowning victim or something like that. You know, if you have 10 divers out there looking for a drowning victim and they find them within 10 minutes, you don't want the other 19 divers to continue to look in the freezing water for 1 hour or something. You want to communicate and tell people, hey, we found the victim, come back up. So if you have that requirement of comms, communication with surface support, then that's fine. If you're just doing it for content, Joe, I don't think you should. I don't think you need it. I'd rather hear your voiceover. Like, just record the video and then you do the voiceover later. The quality of the audio will be better, and it gives you more time to think about what you're gonna say, rather than you record the audio when you're diving and then whatever you recorded is what you have to go with, or you have to mute it and then do the voiceover on top. It's just more work. You go through the air faster with a full face mask. There's just not a whole lot of benefit on it, to be honest. You ever dive with a whale shark? Yes. I've been snorkeling with whale sharks, never been diving with them. Do you think rebreathers will get cheaper in the future? I hope so. Just like everything, it's just, you know, when you see the competition, the rebreathers are not cheap, but they are. I mean, it takes a lot of work and a lot of research and development to make rebreathers, and you don't sell a lot of them. Like I think if these companies, like if Kiss Rebreathers was selling 10,000 rebreathers a month, then they can be cheaper. But you know, and I don't know how many Kiss rebreather sells, but it's not thousands of rebreathers, right? I mean, it's a handful of rebreathers a month. So they to be able to have the employees that they have, the factory and all of that, you have to charge, you have to make a lot of money on each unit to be able to support it. So it's tough. You're at a gym, are you going to work out? Sure, yeah. Right after I finish this live stream, I'm gonna work out for 10 hours. Does KISS have a CE? I think they're working on that. I don't know if they have it, but they're you know, we do get that question a lot. Let me stand for a second because I've been sitting for a while. I know they're working on that. That's one of the reasons of the Sidewinder push now, is they're getting the Sidewinder CE. Does being a big guy limits you in some caves? Sure, yeah. There are some caves that are too tight for me to go, but I don't want to go in caves that are too tight. I'm not, you know, I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy dragging my face through mud to go into a cave. I actually enjoy the caves that are massive, that look like cathedrals, that you go in and you're like, whoa, and there's just huge rooms that you can't believe are underwater. Those are my favorite caves, not the super tight caves. And I know there are some super tight caves that are great. Like yesterday, I was talking to Medi. I told him a story of a cave in Mexico that was, to me, the scariest cave that I've ever been to. And I'm like, that was a one and done. I never want to do that ever. And Medi's question was, wow, Reed, this was not Medi's question. I just saw Reed donated $100. That is amazing. So Reed, thank you so much for doing that. That's a first for us. I don't think anyone has ever done that. So that's unbelievable. But Medi's question was, where is this cave and when can I go? So, yeah, scariest cave for me was like, I need to do this cave for Medi. So for him was like, I got to do this. And for me was like, I'm never doing this. So it's the way it is. All right, so Dive Woody coming. Thank you so much. People keep asking about going to dive for gold. No, why? That diving for gold is awful. Why do people want to do that? How's that coming along, Medi? Good?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, still working on this one. Let's just get that one right. Is that one ready too? The Spirit? All right, good to go. So we're going to go dive pretty soon. So excited for the gold video. Oh my God, you guys are like Woody. I keep telling you we're not going to do it. And everybody's like, all right, cool, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm like, well, we're never gonna do it though. And they're like, great. I hit the bell to get notified. Like, my God. Can I park a semi-truck at Sea Ventures? Yeah, I think the Sea Ventures parking lot is massive. And there's not a whole lot of businesses there that are operating. The biggest business at the shopping center where Sea Ventures is located is actually a movie theater, and I think movie theaters are closed right now. So, free dive course coming up, guys? No, I will never free dive. Is dumb. For me, I mean, free divers are awesome, but for me, free diving is dumb because what I want to do is stay down for as long as possible. So free diving is the opposite of that. So it will be a dumb decision for me to go free diving. But for people that want to dive without equipment, it's the best decision. I don't want to knock down people's hobbies. Free diving is awesome, by the way. Especially the people that do it competitively and can stay down for like 5-6 minutes. Oh my God. Maddie and I recorded a reaction to a video with some free divers yesterday. Dude, that was, you guys are gonna like that one. Total respect for free divers. What they do is not dumb. It's just for me, for my mission, for what I like to do, it would be dumb to free dive. Is it expensive to get into rebreathers? Well, depending on what are you comparing it with. I mean, it's expensive to get into golfing. It's expensive to get into skydiving, I assume. It's expensive to get into a lot of things, but no, short is not, Gus is not short for Angus, no. Have you ever seen the Gilumnary video? No, I have not. How old do you have to be, and what's the youngest you think is safe? How old do you have to be for what? What do you think is the future of diving will look like in 10 years? Wow, that's a big question. I have no idea. But we talked to somebody about the future of diving on Monday. So we have a really cool interview coming up on Monday, so please go check it out. How old are your children? 13, 11, and almost 9. Gus is leaving. See you later. Thank you. What are the requirements for the Zero to Hero cave diving? Depending on the agency. So check that out. How long can you leave a fill tank without using it? I mean, I have no idea. Months. Yeah. Somebody asked if I had to choose between two things, and then the question went away. Sorry. What are the requirements for Zero to Hero cave diving? I already said that. Depending on the agency. Do people dive naked? I guess so. I don't know. Sure. When would the Woody Lake Michigan dive will be uploaded? I have no idea, because Woody just sent me all his videos, and there's like 2 months worth of content. So I have to sort through that and then figure out how to make it work. Do you recommend to get certified through a specific agency like Patty? No. Get certified through an instructor that is reputable, and who cares what the agency is. Do you use Imperial or metric? Yes, I use them both. I grew up in South America where we use metric, and then I live in the US now where it's Imperial, so I can talk both. So typically for diving, because I learned in the US, I use Imperial, but I can understand metrics as well. Do you know good caves outside of the USA, maybe in Europe? We're aware of a few, and we might be hitting those next year. If you had to choose between the Ascender or the Gold Dive, which one would you choose? Neither will be my choice. There's so much stuff to do. Why do you guys want to do the worst videos? How come nobody picks, like, let's just go to like this cool cave? Everyone is picking the worst. Somebody asked me, how was my time in Venezuela, I think? It went away. Favorite cave to dive? I don't know if I can pick a favorite cave. I mean, okay, here we go. Now it's back on. So yeah, meet and greet for sure coming up. Again, we'll talk for 2020 about that later for 2022. Get together and go diving for those of you who are divers. How frustrating. What's up, Ed?
What's up?
Oh, sorry. People want to say hi. So we have 157 people online right now. Check this out.
How we doing, people?
Ed, everyone asking, when are we going to release the Dominican Republic video? But, after the power cut out, we have to finish that ending, like the audio, all of that is messed up. So today, let's record it to the ending, and then we'll release it.
Sounds good.
There you go. So everyone is asking when we're releasing that video. There you go. Now, Ed publicly committed to that video. There you go. Now Ed publicly committed to finishing that today.
And the second thing
Yeah.
is I had a helmet or my Paralens camera on just like I did for the Tennessee Rescue. And at one point, in a really particularly nasty tight zero-vis section, it was dropping down and my head got stuck between the ceiling of the cave. I mean, it was about a foot tall, and the victim's head. And when I got the body out, and the government had asked me to film it for them, and when I got to the dock, they said, "Did you get it?" And I said, "Yeah, we." And my camera was gone. So my camera is still in El Dudu over in Dominican, and Philip Lehman was going to go in and find it for me, and apparently even a year later it was still
missing.
Ooh. So
Somebody should-
anyway, if we ever get that camera back, we'll have real footage. I don't know how good it'll come out in real footage, but
That video will be awesome.
that would be awesome.
They're asking how much you bench press.
You're done. Well, I never hit 400. I used to bench 390 was my max.
390.
But now I'm getting old, so it's not nearly as much.
All right, so 390 was his max. Here we go. Yeah, everyone loves Ed. When are we seeing Brian kick out Ed Sorensen and Mike Young again? Well, you saw Ed, and Mike will be back on the show. Brian. Anyway, all right, guys. We've been live for almost an hour. I never planned to be this long, but thank you for all the questions. Thank you again for your donations. And once again, later on today, we'll record that video of the Dominican Republic rescue, and hopefully you'll see it soon here on Dive Talk. Whole day of cave diving today. Looking forward to it, and we'll see you guys on the next one tomorrow. New video. If you saw the one yesterday and you thought that was gnarly, yeah, you're gonna love the one tomorrow. I didn't even know humans like that existed, to be honest. People that do what that guy did. It's unbelievable. So check it out tomorrow. We'll see you then. All right.
The moving map was just like the G3X.